Saw your name on my phone, yeah. 3 o'clock in the morning. We've been going and going.
Hello, this is Barbara. Welcome to this video. You might be surprised why I all of a sudden have a new journal here that I'm making, since I haven't done a flip through of my others and they're not even full yet. So I have been making a few journals to sell, and this is one I started with the intention to sell it later on. But the more I work in it, the more I'm falling in love with it. So I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be able to sell this one, but we'll see what happens at the end. I'm not sure yet. So what I did here is I already prepared the cover, as you saw. It is a German version of Little House on the Prairie, and I think it's super cute. And I'm making this with the no-sew binding method from Johanna Cloth, and I have a video linked down below if you want to see how I constructed one of my previous journals. So I don't want to go through the whole process again because I've done that several times on my channel, so I will just link those below. Here I'm just giving you a quick flip through of the pages I chose, and I've already put the signatures in the right order. So I have 4 signatures. And the papers inside are, I believe, they're all vintage papers from books that I have found at Goodwill and at the flea market. And what we're going to be doing today is adding some pockets, some linen pockets, and some other vintage ephemera. I also have some Happy Mail goodies that I will add into this. So I thought before I'm going to bind the pages into the book, even though I can take them out again later with this binding method, I thought it's easier if I just sew on all the pockets that I want to put in first, and then bind them into the journal, and then go on from there. But first I wanted to add this cute little doily that came in a Happy Mail. I'm just putting that in my first signature in the middle there. Next, I have this piece of beautiful linen I found at our flea market here in Vienna, Austria. And I am deciding on which page I want that to go on. So I'm just going to put it there. And once I have all my linens in place, I will go sew them at the sewing machine. So this is going to be the second pocket. As you can see, it's a very delicate handkerchief. I found this at a thrift store last year sometime. I am just tearing that down to a size that I think would be nice for a pocket. And this is actually going to be a tuck spot later on. So again, looking for a page that I would like to have that on. So next I choose another piece, which is this yellow one. This was also from a Happy Mail. It's really cute embroidery piece. And I am searching for another page. I think I try to put like one pocket per signature pretty much, except the first signature because that has a doily. And I believe each signature has, I think, 6 pages. I hope I'm not lying now. I think it's 6 pages. So I need to iron that one. Actually, I think I iron all of them before I actually sew them in with the machine. And now I'm just switching 2 of the places because I didn't want 2 yellow ones after each other. I wanted the red one in between. So I'm just kind of switching it up a little bit. And lastly, I put this one in, which is, I think this was a Happy Mail one as well. So again, I am tearing this, and on this one I'm also going to sew down the top edge, because that one is fraying a lot, and even though I love the frayed look, I would be afraid that it frays too much over time. So I'm just going to fold that over to the back. You'll see when I show you here in a second. So now I'm just showing you the results of all the sewed on pockets. There's the red one. That one is so Christmassy actually. I don't know if I have another one of those. That was this very small piece that I found. I also sewed down these pockets, which were a sleeve from a book. And there's that pretty one. And there's the other side of that pocket. And there's this one, really cute. I really like how they turned out. So that is the first step. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to bind all these signatures into the journal. So I'm taking some regular embroidery thread, and I chose a blue that would match the book cloth well that I have on this cover. And by the way, on the inside covers, I just put pages of the original book, and I also added a page of the original book to each signature. So what I'm doing here is I took 4.5 lengths of the journal for my thread, and now I'm just putting the thread in between the middle of the signature. Then I'm threading it through the first hole on the bottom and the first hole on the top. So I have 2 ends now on the outside. I'm putting the bottom one into the top, and then I'm just going to tie those two together at the top, because I'm going to be adding some charms on the top of the spine. If you want your charms at the bottom of the spine, then you do it the other way around. You tie the knot at the bottom. It's very easy actually. The only thing is you need to make the knot as tight as possible. Now, if you've never done a binding like this, you have to know that the pages are not going to be as tight as when they're sewn, but that is actually a good thing, because that means you can easily add more pages, and you can also take pages out to work on them, or if it's too bulky, which I love. And what I've done with my previous ones is at the very end, I tighten them again. So this is why I'm only doing a double knot at the moment, so that I have the possibility later on to tighten it, and so that everything is nice at the end when it's full. So this is the second signature now, same process, tying it off at the top. And then the other two I will do exactly the same, but you don't have to watch it, because I think seeing it twice is enough. So there's the 2 signatures in there, and now I have all 4. I'm just giving you a very loose flip so you can oh, sorry, that's not the 4 yet. Okay, now we have the 4. I was showing you the 2 inside. So now we have the 4. You see it there. I think it's a very pretty binding like this. And now I'm giving you a loose flip through so that you can just see the 4 different signatures, how that looks. I love this book so much already, and I think it's so cute. Okay, so everything looking great, and now it's time for the funnest part, I think, to add the charms. I have pre-selected these from my charm box. This is a mixture of things I have bought and charms from the Happy Mail, objects I have found, and broken jewelry or jewelry that I have gotten rid of, or old jewelry I've bought at the flea market and then taken apart. So here I'm just tying everything with a double knot at the top, and I'm making sure that each one of these threads has a charm, and I also try to put the charm on different heights of the spine. So I'm not going down too far, but just so that they're not all the way up at the top, because it's more fun, I think, when they're in different heights. And you can attach anything you want that you could tie a string around, like even a little spoon or a little tiny glass bottle, or whatever trinkets you might have that are not too big, you could add. And here I'm gonna let you listen to the sound, because so many people love the sound of these. As do I. I love the sound of them against the spine as well. So next I thought just a little touch of something on the front, and I wanted to add this very thin strip of lace. It's self-adhesive, which makes it so easy. I believe this one I'm not sure. This might be from the store Action, but I am not sure at the moment. You can find those everywhere on Amazon, on AliExpress. I'm sure Etsy has them too. They're so convenient. So now we are starting the process of decorating the pages a bit more, and I pulled out some ephemera that I thought might go well into this book, or might work well with the theme of this book. So I will use a lot of children's fairy tale vintage books. This particular image was actually from a Happy Mail. I think it's really cute, these little gnomes. And I'm going to just make a big pocket by just gluing around the 3 edges. And the reason why I wanted to take you along on this video is because I wanted to show you how my head works when I make journals like this. Like what is my process, and what kind of things do I like adding, and how do I go about doing it in case you want to make one or make a regular junk journal. It doesn't have to be this version. Obviously this ephemera can be put in any journal. So I'm actually not going to journal in it myself because I don't know yet if it's going to be mine or not. But I am going to embellish it, and I think I will do a couple of collages maybe even, and then see where we go from there. So this is an envelope. I don't remember where this is from. Might have been a Happy Mail because I definitely did not buy this. These cute printouts, the front and the back, that I'm putting on this envelope now were some images I have been sent by lovely Bia. Thank you again for these. They are so adorable. So now I'm looking for a page to make a tip in out of this envelope, and I believe it's this one that I choose, and I'm just going to use some washi tape, which is a bit wider, and I go for this one, which is also from a Happy Mail. It's a very cute design. There you see, it's like a travel themed one, and I always prefer using wide ones to make tip-ins because they just hold a lot better than the thin ones. So I'm just attaching it, gluing it around the other side of the page, and I'm going to add another washi which was also from a Happy Mail, which has this beautiful, I think it's a sakura cherry blossom print to secure the other side. And I think tip-ins are always fun, and if they're envelopes, even better. The more interaction, the better. I think the more fun a journal is. So this is a printout of a scan from one of my own doilies that I found at the flea market. The print isn't very saturated. I don't know why. I think I need to edit that scan a little bit, but I didn't want to throw this away, so I wanted to just add it here because I still think it's pretty. And I just inked around it, and I'm just adding it or attaching it on one side so that it could become a tuck spot if you wanted to. Now this is a coffee dyed index card, and I'm adding this cute butterfly tag to it, which I got from Raisa on one of our journal meetups that we have here in Vienna now every, I guess, about 6 weeks. We've had 2 so far, and they're a lot of fun. And if you're ever in the area, in Vienna, visiting maybe, please let me know. Or if you live in Vienna, let me know. Let me know if you want to come to one of our meetups. They're a lot of fun. We journal in each other's journal, and we discuss. What do we discuss? Obviously, we discuss paper and stationery and all these good things. So it's really nice. I think for all of us, it's the only time we connect with like-minded people in real life, because usually none of us have friends that enjoy doing the same craft that we love. So it's really cool to actually be able to meet up with people who love the same thing that you love. This is a wallpaper that I received from lovely Allison, and I'm going to make a little tip-in pocket with it. And I'm kind of trying to figure this out as I'm going along, which is why it's taking longer than usual when I make these things. Because I've made so many pockets. You might know I've shown so many pockets in the past, especially on Instagram. But I've never made one which is supposed to be a tip-in, and the idea came from Rachel from Roxy Creations. She made one of these in one of her recent videos, but she made it a lot more elaborate. I think she made then another flip out to this pocket, and then I think she collaged on it or something. Hers is really cool. Mine is a very simple version of it. All I wanted was a simple pocket that is attached to a page that you could flip out. So that's what I'm trying to construct here. And the wallpaper has this plasticky feeling, which doesn't really make it easier, because I have a feeling the glue doesn't stick as well as with normal paper. I'm just using my regular tacky glue. And by the way, I got my first ever 3-in-1 glue, because I thought I need something stronger as well, especially if I'm going to be making more journals. So I'm very excited. I got 2 bottles of those from Amazon. So I will let you know how happy I am with that. They are impossible to find here in Austria for some reason. Okay, so my pocket is finally done, and I am looking for a page to put it on. And it will be this one. So I'm going to glue this little flap to the back side of the page with my tacky glue again. And that way the little pocket can just flip over the page. Smearing it with my finger a little bit so it doesn't squish out as much. Yep, now just burnishing a little bit with my fingers. And there it is. What a cute addition. I've never done that before. Next, we have another Happy Mail piece. I thought this was a really cool acetate piece, and I thought it would be cool to add it as a little pocket. And I thought I would make a little half circle on one side just to make it easier to take out whatever's in there. So there you see the punch. And first I took the middle page out because I thought I was going to sew this on, but then I realized the sewing would show up on that cute illustration on the front, which I didn't want. So I decided to just glue that down with my tacky glue, which was a first for me to ever try that. And I thought, why not? And it's actually kind of fun to see how the glue squishes down when you press on it. And then I just added 2 clamps to make sure it holds in place while it's drying. Next, I have this stamped vellum, which I believe might be from Raisa, again from our journaling meetup. And I wanted to make this into a tuck spot, so I'm just taking this time my glue stick and I'm kind of tipping it to just glue on its corner so that it wouldn't be so wide. And now I'm just gluing that down, and I have a cute little tuck spot. Next, we have this piece of paper that is a coffee stain paper where I just wrote with my calligraphy, one of the fonts that I was learning, what we think we become. And this is something I've done for Instagram. I had a short little video on Instagram how I wrote that. So I thought I wanted to use that somehow, and so it was too big for a page, and so I just cut around it and cut it in 2 and inked around it. And now I'm going to put it on this envelope, which I'm going to attach to this page. This envelope, I have no recollection where it came from. I'm guessing maybe a Happy Mail, or it was in one of the subscription boxes from Your Creative Studio, but I kind of don't think it was. I think it must have been a Happy Mail. And I'm very sorry if it was you that sent it and I'm not remembering. I'm so sorry. But I'm really enjoying this envelope. It's very cool, and it fits so nicely with what I'm doing here on this page. And so I really love how that turned out. And so I'm now, of course, you could use this flap as a tuck spot as well. But I decided to just glue the whole flap down with my glue stick because I was going to cover that up and glue something else on top of that. And so I wanted to use this cute image. And I knew it, obviously the whole picture wasn't going to fit. So I tried to figure out how I could make the most out of it. And I definitely didn't want to cut half of that lady's face off. So I trimmed the left side, and now I have a little more space on the right. And this time it worked that I actually would be able to have 4 ladies on it. And I just marked the height of it as well and put glue on the back. Now I'm just gluing that over the page, and I think it's really cute. These ladies are adorable. It's obviously from a vintage children's book. And this is the cutoff of the page, and obviously we are not throwing that away. So I'm going to make a little tag out of that. And I'm going to mount it on this 200 GSM white marbled cardstock that I have a whole bunch of. And I cannot give you a link for that because that is from my previous work. Some scraps that would have been thrown away. So I glued it on, and then I also shortened it a bit. And now I'm just cutting the top corners to make it look like a tag. And I'm just punching a hole in the top. And I also wanted to use a reinforcer, a hole reinforcer, but of course I'm inking it first. Who would I be otherwise? And I just wanted to check some options, and I wanted to go with something a little bit more fun than my usual distressed brown ones. And so I decided to go with this gold striped one, which is kind of funky. I believe this might have been in Allison's Happy Mail a long time ago, but I really don't remember. I'm so sorry. Okay, front and back. So that is the tag. I don't know, maybe at a later time I will add a little ribbon at the top or something. I don't know. I'm just checking where I want it to go, and I end up putting it in this pocket, which is the book sleeve. And that's all I'm doing today. I will continue another time. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it inspires you to keep working in your own journals or to even make a new one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
I tried to replace you, tried to give up on you, but I can't, you know I can't. Saw your name on my phone, yeah, you only call when you want it.